How you doing? John from JAF Comics here again, doing another video, going through our stuff. I still have plenty to go through. I probably won't make videos of all of it because there's just so much to get through, and this does take a little bit of time to do, because I end up having a hard time talking and moving my hands at the same time. So I'm going to get through some of these books. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about JAF and running JAF, just because, I had a customer recently ask me if I did any workshops or videos on running a retail business. I was super flattered. It's a guy that's been coming to me since he was in his teens, and he says at some point in his life he would like to run and own a comic shop or toy store, collectibles, that kind of thing. So I basically, I don't do anything like that, but I figured, well, I can talk about it a little bit on one of my shows, or one of the videos I do. Thought it'd be kind of fun to talk a little bit about. As I go through these books, I'm just going to show you these books. There's nothing wild in here, just some really cool stuff. This one's got in some rough shape, so this is going to end up being a $5 book. But yeah, so, give you the little history of JAF. I mean, I was a little tiny 800 square foot toy shop upstairs, and just basically built on that. So we were selling online. We were doing basically just online sales on eBay, Amazon at the time, and people started knocking on my door. The business was called Just Action Figures. People were knocking on my door when we moved into this building because it was a retail space. And I guess somewhere along the way, I put in the system or in Google, that we were a store. And then all of a sudden people started knocking on the door and wondering like, hey, are we open? And we weren't. We were just using this place as more of a warehouse than anything. And for storage and sit and do inventory and that kind of stuff. So we really didn't plan on being retail. That was the thought. I had a business partner at the time, and it was supposed to just be online only. So then my business partner at the time, things were happening in his world, so he wanted to separate. So we did. No hard feelings. He's actually now a partner in another business that I'm doing. But at his point in his life, he didn't have the time to deal with a business. So then what happened was I got in touch with, someone got me in touch with, Dreamscape was the local comic shop in the area for 20 plus years. Got me in touch with the owner's, I think, girlfriend, but they were basically married, I think. And the owner had passed away, so they put us in contact because we were interested in maybe buying some inventory. So that's kind of how I became a full-fledged comic shop, and we had to change the name, right? We couldn't be Just Action Figures and have, it was 2 37-foot U-Haul trucks we made filled with comics from Dreamscape Comics in Bethlehem. So it was pretty crazy. And we went from upstairs 800 square foot, we moved downstairs to 3,000 square foot space. This is all, he's got this stuff is back in inventory. So this stuff is all just going to go right back into our inventory system. Put this off to the side. And then I will go through the dollar books. So here's some of the dollar books. I'm just going to go through these. And when I'm going through these, I'll keep talking about this, how this all started. Let's see, can you see? Yeah, so these are all dollars. I'm going to just pull out anything that I might want to put on hit for a little more than $1. And it's, for me, it's usually odd stuff that I haven't seen before, or if there's like doubles and stuff, it's like, well, might as well put some of it up there. Anyway, So yeah, so we moved into that 3,000 square foot, and then over the last I don't know, couple of years, we've kind of just taken the next space in this building. And I'll put a cable too. These are always good books. People are looking to fill collections. Yeah, so we kept taking each space for storage or whatever. And currently we're probably at like maybe 12,000 square feet, somewhere around there. I don't even know, to be honest, for sure. And yeah, and so it's meant, hiring full-time people, and going through that whole process. So the business has morphed a lot from when I started, because it was just supposed to be a hobby business. It wasn't really, the intention was just to have something extra when, my corporate job kind of ended, and, I would have something extra to have in the background. So that's now since changed an awful lot. And now we are, myself and my wife work here full time. Some of these are actually... So now it's our full-time job between both of us. I run Dreamscape Publishing, Multi-Print Labs, and JAF all at the same time. My wife handles all of our customer service and shipping for pretty much all the anything we ship, whether it is the other businesses or not. It all comes out of here right now. So we can you see these? Yeah. Just don't want the glare. All of it pretty much comes out of here. So she handles all the shipping for pretty much everything, especially our Kickstarters that we do under Dreamscape. All those come out of here. So, yeah. So I'm just going through these. I'm just looking for anything that looks like could be a cool book. One of the things we do when we're going through books, determining whether it's a $1 book or something we could put on HIP. Usually you could tell by the collection, right? If they took care of the books really well, then, we can put them on HIP because they are just filler books, but someone looking for this issue, but you want to make sure it's in great shape. This whole lot right here in the front, they're kind of dirty and kind of gross. So I'm going to just skip over these. Maybe if I find something like really cool, that I'll put in there, but for the most part, I'm going to skip over a lot of these. And then whenever they're not bagged and boarded, pretty much I don't put any of them up on HIP, unless they're really good and, this condition's really good. But if they're not bagged and boarded, to me, they just weren't taken care of, which means there's, the corners are yuck, the spines are ticked, and I don't want to sell it online and then someone not be happy with what they get. So, yeah, so we're going to put all these in dollars because I don't, condition's not wonderful. But yeah, so that's kind of how we started and how we've grown over the years. Our store, that's a cool cover. Our store can handle up to 100 people for doing playing Magic and Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, which is something I originally said we'd probably never get into, but it does offset the business well. So on a Monday, when comic book sales are pretty slow traditionally, it almost doesn't make sense to be open and pay someone to be here on a Monday. We have the back of the store, which is all of our gaming, and that's the reason it makes sense to stay open now. So that's kind of where, for us, we learned that it made sense. Little small book we'll put... no, that one's pretty beat up. We'll leave this one in here. That's where it kind of made sense to, morph into doing gaming as well. There's more dollar books. Yeah, so we ended up, going down that road, And then that's what's kind of helped us stay open on days when you think to yourself, like, what's the point of staying open? Because on a Wednesday, we actually have a full house in the back playing cards. That actually looks like a good one. And the comic side, obviously, because it's Wednesday, does more. That's got a big spine tick. So these I'm going to look at because these are newly bagged and boarded, and they look pretty clean, some of these. Yeah, so then we'll that's, on a Wednesday, the comics definitely still do more than the gaming, even when we're packed gaming wise. So it's a good balance between the two, and that's what kind of keeps us cranking, keeps us doing well. As well as, these will have spine ticks on them. I think this one's something. That one looks really good. But yeah, so that's what kind of keeps us rolling. We're a good balance of cards and comics, toys, figures, all of that stuff. So that one's in really nice shape. The big titles like Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, Avengers, Captain America, I'll pretty much put anything that's in good condition, decent shape, I'll put in our backstock inventory because someone's always looking for a filler. So especially if it's, like 90s or older, because that's what people are trying to fill those collections. Yeah, these will just throw in, this will all just be dollars. I hope you guys can see these and the glare isn't awful. Yeah, so that's kind of, how we've become and what works, what doesn't work. Put this right back in here. That's what's kind of made us who we are. And it's been a great run so far. I plan on chugging away here because we're having a blast. Anyone that's interested in getting to their own business, the first thing you got to be willing to do is come in on a 4th of July like I am today and get some work done. No matter what you do, it's the first thing on your mind every day should be the business. Otherwise, in my opinion, you won't be successful. If the first thing of your day is not thinking of, all right, what's on, what can I do for the business today, or what's the, what happened yesterday that I need to fix. Yes, you have personal time. That's great, but that's a cool cover. I don't remember seeing this one when it came out. But yeah, that needs to be, in my opinion, to be a successful business owner, it has to be business first. In my theory is the more I do this and the more I put the business first now, in the long run, I do believe it will benefit. So there will be a time where I'll be able to say I've got people to be able to do these things, and I don't have to worry about it. But right now, as we're still growing, that's my mindset. So, and we're doing pretty well right now. I'm really happy with the way things are going. So yeah. This one, I love putting the annuals up there and the oversizes because they're just kind of fun. I feel like people miss them when they come out, and then they're looking for them, so they usually sell pretty well. Oh, there you go, $350. Ugh, that one's rough. So yeah, so that's my thoughts on business and how I run things here, and it's been fun, and I'm happy to continue going and doing all the cool things. It's I wake up every morning and I'm ready to just go and do more, and it's not work. So trades, we put in our trade $5 trade bins, any of the used ones we get, and then a lot of times we'll do them at buy one get one or whatever. So all of these will end up in our trade stuff, And yeah, this was a pretty meh lot. Nothing really great. All these books that I kind of pulled out, we will put in our HIP inventory, so you'll be able to see this stuff in HIP at some point over the next week or two. But the rest of it will just be in our dollar bins, and our dollar bins will probably do a fresh reset sometime. Probably our next outlet that we run, which will be the last Saturday and Sunday of the month. We'll probably end up doing a fresh, this is July, so if you're watching this video and it's not July, I don't know what the next one will be. But for July, we'll probably have some fresh dollar books because we just pulled all of them out and brought them up to the front of the store. So I don't have something cool to do my picture with. So I will, for our thumbnail, so I'll just grab this dollar book and that's all it'll be. And someone will go, what was the point of that one? So there you go. There you have it. Thanks for listening. It's been interesting telling you about how the business runs. Feel free to make any comments. I'll see them if you have any questions or interested in learning anything new. So thanks a lot. Hope you had enjoyed the video, and like and subscribe. We're trying to build this channel. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.